Good morning and back again to the ICCA studio. This morning, for our first show in keeping with what's happening at the Radisson Blu Dubai Dera Creek, we have Miss Nasarene Dhanki, a master sugar crafter and chef instructor here at the ICCA in Dubai. Nasarene's tryst with sugar crafting began 25 years ago when she had to make a christening cake for her baby. Since then, she has never looked back and has had the opportunity to train many professionals. Today, Nasarene has chosen an exquisite topic of different kinds of laces, all made with sugar. We have a lot of activities lined up for the day, and so without further ado, I hand over to Nasarene.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. We have today our topic, as was previously mentioned by Shanaz. Thank you for the lovely introduction, Shanaz. And our topic today is lace. Why did we choose lace? Because spring is upon us, summer's around the corner, and it's wedding season. And so lace features a lot in bridal wear, in the couture world. So we're going to be working on lace today because the history of lace goes back many, many years and is linked to bridal wear, because Queen Victoria was the first queen to use the wedding cake as a focal point in her wedding reception. And we have her to thank for the bridal tradition of wearing white. Another first was her matching, very elaborate filigree lace wedding cake. Her white dress was also lace trimmed, a first for the fashion world, but another first was her matching white cake, which featured a lot of elaborately done lace. So I would like to share with you today a few techniques of a variety of lace making, sugar lace making procedures that we use in this wonderful world of cake decorating. So welcome to our world of Sugarcraft. And I will begin with showing you a few of these techniques. So what's in the world of storm is flexible lace, made from sugar, but flexible when dry. And so I'm going to begin my demonstration by showing you flexi lace. It requires a mat, a lace mat, and she's patterned. She has on it two different patterns, both of which I have used, and I'm going to show you its application. Now, this lace recipe, or this liquid formula is put together. It's a very simple formula. It's put together with like starch, potato starch, and icing sugar, a bit of gum tragacanth, water, and you have to make it to the right consistency. So here we have it. And if I apply this to our mat and squish her around a bit, you have to spread it all over into this lace detail. And when that's evenly done, you will see the lace detail showing through this lovely mat we've got here. Let me just take out, because in my enthusiasm, I've put too much on. And so I'm going to have to work it off. So initially, I'm applying or filling in all these gaps, which has to be done meticulously. If you leave any air bubbles, you're going to have a break in your lace. So let's fill, fill, fill. And when we've done so, I will show you what it looks like, wet and dry. Now, there's two ways to cure this lace, because what I'm doing here to show you is not going to dry now. It has to either be baked on a very cool oven or left overnight to dry. I prefer to leave mine overnight. I find baking it in the oven leaves it a little sticky to work with. Whereas when you leave it just to air dry overnight, you get a much nicer finish, easier to handle because she's slightly drier. Now, the important thing with this lace is this application has to be fine-tuned, smooth. So you use a flat spatula and you take away everything that you do not need. Everything that you do not need, of course, filling in any air bubbles you may or may not have. Because it's hand done, it's subject to small little flaws that might occur. And it also depends on the consistency of your lace mixture. There we have it. Now, when she's smoothly applied like so, this is what it looks like. But it's wet, cannot be handled right now. But let me show you. She fills the mat like so, creating and giving you all the little cutout details, which ordinarily we used to do in yesteryear. The mat gives us the cutouts, but in yesteryear we used little eyelet cutters to get all these details. It was the long road home. But now, if I put this aside, she dries. She'll take about 8 hours to dry, unless, like I said, I put her in an oven. But hey, presto, I've already got a ready one done for you. Dried, not colored, but can you see what I'm talking about? Flexy when dry. She's flexible. Now, this lace is edible, but flexible when dry. It has to be protected until you actually use it, because she can dry out to get a little brittle. And I'm going to show you 2 applications of this lace, because the fun one or the simple one is if you flat apply her on a cake like so. Now, I've tried to use our ICCA colors of burgundy, orange, and yellow in a softer spring shade, but this is a flat application, and I have colored this lace with gold luster dust. Flat application, but I'm going to show you. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to show you this cake, which has a 3-dimensional application of the same lace. Can you see? And like I said, flexy when dry, still edible. Now, the world, this wonderful world of lace, there's more than one way to create lace. I will move this, nails on the blackboard, but I will move this out of our way temporarily and bring back my rolling board so that I can demo for you a couple more applications for lace. Because there's Belgian lace, there's Guipure lace, there's applique lace, there's piped filigree lace. So the piped filigree lace is done with liquid. Just like this is a liquid application, the piped filigree lace is also liquid, but you need a nozzle for that. Rolled lace is what I will show you, which is the broderie anglaise. So we've got different cutters that we use. And these cutters facilitate whether it's a strip, scalloped, plain, patterned, and another strip. Like I mentioned earlier, my lace mat gave me all the little cutouts. This one is going back to the grandmasters, how we did it before we had all these fantastic tools. My hats off, kudos to the chefs of yesteryear. Like, for example, Queen Victoria's cake that was so elaborately filigree piped. Those chefs did not have half the tools or any of the tools we have today. They worked, they flew by the seat of their pants, literally. Today, we have so many tools and aids that help us get the same professional finish in 1/10 the time. So to roll these out, as with any craft, take a child learning music today. No matter what the contemporary genres are, they have to learn the principles of music, they have to go back to the grandmasters. So I'm taking you back with primary rolled techniques that show us, or that we had to utilize in the days before cutters and molds and everything came by. So there, you have to be a master of the rolling pin, because your rolling consistency, your thinness had to be equal end to end. So if I cut this out, or I cut this out. You can cut any shape. All our strip cutters are. You get many different shaped strip cutters. So when I cut that out, cut her out this way, and peel away what I do not want, because sugar is air drying. So I don't want to keep her exposed because I will lose it. Now, the next thing I will show you is to create a lacy effect on the border. I use a nifty little tool called a crimper. Now, crimping, not focusing back on this cake right here. If you look at the top detail done on this cake, it's all done with this nifty little crimper. So it can do an all-over pattern for you. A crimper can do you a border pattern, which is what I'm going to utilize. I'm going to border this now with this crimper. So I dip it in a little bit of dusting sugar to keep it from sticking. And here we are. Can you see how it picks up that edge? Absolutely animates it into a textured finish where that lies flat. This one doesn't. She gives you visual interest right there. So turning it around, I'll do the other side for you. Now, I'm going to lace a piece of ribbon through this to give you further detail. And what I will do is create the indents where my ribbon has to sit. So if you see that, this is a ribbon inserter tool. I will open up, create the incisions needed. Right here. And into or laced through that, these incisions, spring is here, so in and out sparkling bluebells, we can put a ribbon. I have a pre-done piece for you. So there you have it. It's ribbon, the ribbon has already been inserted, coupled with its partner piece. I will show you an already completed piece where you have your ribbon inserted panel along with the cutouts. Can you see the little broderie anglaise cutouts? So this is broderie anglaise. Now you look at these little cutouts, they are made with these little eyelet cutters. And we have eyelet cutters, singled, floral, leaf patterns, ferns, all kinds. So I'm going back to show you the big cake on this side, which, let me move this baby again. I do not want to drop him, but look at this. Here, I've done a small panel of broderie anglaise cutout. Same technique, different application shape-wise. Instead of going strip, I went circular. You know the cotton, the English broderie anglaise cotton lace cutout shirts that you have? Basically, when a tailor cuts a hole in a shirt, he's got to stitch the selvage edge around it to prevent the threads from coming out. So the piping around these cutouts depict that, to give you English lace, broderie anglaise. It's got a French name, but it's English cotton lace. Not going to question why. Okay, perhaps there's always a merging of cultures here, there, and everywhere, and perhaps that's where it came from. Now, what I can do to this is put her aside for the moment. I think we're going to go into a short break, and we'll be back soon. Don't go away. I was... Welcome back, everyone. And I have two more lace techniques to show you. One is the applique lace, or applique is basically applied lace. When you cut out small pieces of lace, either with a flower cutter, a leaf cutter, a circular cutter, any shaped cutter, to create interesting little patterns. So how that's done is you can, wide application. Where's my sugar? Here. Got him. Okay, so if I did a quick rollout, now again, I'm using ready-made cutters. In the old days, I don't know, those chefs had to do it manually because there weren't cutters available. So if I rolled out to the relevant thickness and I gave myself one cutout, boom, and I separated her from. Now you can texture this any way you want. I'm using a small little stitch wheel tool because it's lace. It's going to be applied as a fabric application on bridal gowns, on various. So I'll give the stitch indicator. There we have it. Remove what I do not need. And once that's out of the way, here we go. You have one little bitty cutout piece. Now you have different shapes that you can cut out with. Here's another, or an oval. And I'm going to show you, this is a large applique lace application. Okay, I have pre-cut for you certain shapes ready to go. And I will do the same with this little guy. I will save him in here. It's like, with gloves on, it's like opening bags in a supermarket. You fight with them. But here you are. I'm going to try and save that as much as I can. Okay? In our petal shield, that will keep my sugar protected. So from that cutout, here's the magic you can work with it. You can do very small or fine cutouts, and you get applique work, very small cutouts. What I've used here are much larger cutouts, and I'm going to show you its application in a minute. Much larger cutouts. This is small, fine, for a fine, a small piece of work. We keep her sideways, or no. All right, I will just retire her for the moment. Can you see that? Okay, leaving that there. A larger application, all these cutouts that I did, going back to this baby. Can you see on the side? Now this is Belgian lace. Let me just get this out of your way. Perhaps you'll, there you are. Can you see Belgian lace? So we've got, it's applique just the same, larger cutouts compared to the christening gown on the little one. Belgian lace applique, or if you have piped lace. Now there was a board sheet that I have here. You can put a pattern under an acetate sheet on a hardboard and pipe any shapes that you want. I have selected this one because right on top here is piped lace, but my butterfly is also piped lace. And this project that I keep moving in and out of sight is a completely filigree piped project. From the gazebo to the tree to the sleigh, it's all filigree piped lace. So get that out of the way because that is delicate. It won't give you a second chance if you drop it down. So piped lace, applique lace, Rodrian's lace. All these laces take time to do. They are time consuming, they are labor intensive, but they give you beautiful results. Now for the beginner, perhaps, I can do a quick cheat lace that I will show you. So I need my sugar again. And This is the easiest form of lace, just as beautiful, but the easiest form, the quickest, because it is an embossed lace. And if you roll out, again, your sugar has to be the right consistency, thickness. Not too sticky either, because your cutters or your embossers stick to it. So if I did that, got my consistency right, rolled out consistency, and I got my little embossed lace cutter. So all you need to do is dust it. I have a potato flour bag that I use to keep all my cutters kind of non-stick. Place her on there and apply a little pressure. She will emboss her pattern onto this lace rollout. Look at that. Quick, effective. I haven't colored it yet. I haven't cut it out yet, which I will do next. So get the sugar that I do not need off the board. And then cut out this lovely piece of lace. And here we have it. Now you can color this in many, many formats. You can spray color it because we have lots of luster sprays. You can airbrush color it. You can dust it. You can luster it. You can paint gold detail to just edge it. Choice is yours. There are so many different applications that lead to the same or lead to different, beautifully finished results. So that is embossed lace. And of course, there are many, many different embossers. There's a range out there for us. And I want to show you one way that I have used it. Here we have it. In 3 different colors or 3 different patterns of embossed lace is right there. And you know what I can do right now? Where is that ribbon strip that I made earlier? Here we are. I'm going to dress the top of this with, let's just put some glue on it. So, you know, I told you the piped lace is done with this, with a nozzle and royal icing. All that filigree and detail, my butterfly and everything has been done with piped lace. But guess what? Royal icing is also one of our strongest glues when you want to attach sugar to sugar. And if it's a large piece, I'm going to have to turn this towards me for a minute. Let me apply it. And I will turn it around and face it back to you to show you the finished product. Quick, easy. Ta-da! And you have it. So I've done a ribbon inserted, just crimped lace. Then there's 3 different patterns of, this is what I call cheap lace, because anyone can do it, from the beginner to the professional, because it gives you beautiful professional finishes, even though it's so quick, achieved so quickly. So here we have it. Let me just make sure she's sticking. There. And after this, we're going to open the forum to you. If you have any questions and answers, or you'd like any clarifications done, it's your turn now. Say your piece.
We don't
Over to you,
have
Shanaz.
questions from the audience, Nasarene, but I have a question for you. I'd like you to quickly tell us the importance of using the right tools and the right techniques, and why is it important to the end product?
Because when you want to take this craft, it's edible art, and when you want to take this craft commercially, if you hand do something manually, it would take you twice the time. And if your time is your money and your productivity levels are going to suffer by it, use the right tool, which gives you a professional finish in 1/10 the time, because a tool will achieve much faster and with much more finesse than if you tried to do it manually. So always in any craft, the right tools to begin rightly will be to end rightly. You get to higher productivity levels, you get more professional finish, and you're satisfied with your work and the customer you present it to. You present the wow factor. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Nasreen. Exquisite work. Your work always looks like fine porcelain. And if you are, for our audience, if you are a passionate sugar crafter and want to take your skills to competition level, you have just been introduced to the person who can take you there. Nasreen takes sugar craft classes 6 days a week at ICCA, including on Saturdays.